There's a unique kind of magic to the Antiques Roadshow. On any given Sunday, as the familiar theme music fills living rooms across the country, we settle in with a cup of tea, ready to be charmed by dusty paintings, forgotten porcelain, and the deeply personal stories behind them. We watch, hoping for that one electrifying moment when a family heirloom turns out to be a national treasure. But sometimes something rolls, clanks, or is carried onto the set that transcends a simple valuation. It's not just an antique, it's a cultural icon, a piece of our collective memory. And on a recent evening, just such a moment unfolded, leaving even the most seasoned expert utterly starstruck. It wasn't a long-lost painting or a piece of royal furniture. It was something far more audacious, more thrilling. It was a machine born from the brilliant mind of an aviation innovator and immortalized by the world's most famous secret agent. It was Little Nellie, the gyrocopter from the 1967 James Bond classic, You Only Live Twice. As presenter Fiona Bruce set the stage, you could feel the excitement building. She spoke of its creator, Ken Wallace, a former RAF officer whose genius gave birth to this compact, astonishingly agile aircraft. For movie fans, however, it's known for one thing: being the personal ride of Sean Connery's James Bond in one of the franchise's most spectacular action sequences. When movie memorabilia expert Stephen Lane laid his eyes on it, his reaction was everything we love about the show. Pure, unadulterated joy and reverence. This wasn't just another prop. This was a legend in the flesh. So when you think about James Bond, Stephen began, his voice filled with an infectious enthusiasm that drew everyone in, you think about the guns, the gadgets, and the vehicles. And what a vehicle this is. Standing proudly before him were the two guests, the custodians of this incredible piece of history. But their connection was far more profound than mere ownership. This was their father's creation. They weren't just bringing in an item, they were sharing their family's legacy. Stephen, turning to them, wanted to understand the machine from its source. I know that this is an Atajiro, he prompted, but what exactly is an Atajiro? One of the guests, with the quiet pride of someone who grew up around this marvel, explained the beautiful simplicity of their father's design. It wasn't quite a helicopter, with its engine-driven rotors, nor was it a plane with fixed wings. An Atajiro, he described, is a marvel of aerodynamics. A propeller at the back pushes it forward, and the air moving up through the main rotors causes them to spin, creating lift. It's a dance with the laws of physics, a testament to ingenious, out-of-the-box thinking. But how did this brilliant invention, born in a workshop in 1962, find its way into the high-stakes world of international espionage and Hollywood blockbusters? The story is pure movie magic. Well, my father designed and partly built it back in 1962, one of the guests shared. The film's producers got wind of this incredible little machine and invited Ken Wallace to demonstrate its capabilities at Pinwood Studios. They were so utterly blown away by what they saw. This tiny aircraft that could turn on a dime, hover, and perform feats no other vehicle could, that they did the unthinkable. They rewrote the script for You Only Live Twice specifically to include it. Think about that for a moment. This machine wasn't just cast in a movie. The movie was reshaped around it. The production even flew Ken out to Rio for another film project, while they feverishly worked to weave his creation into the narrative. It wasn't just a prop, it was the star. And who better to fly Little Nellie for those breathtaking aerial dogfights over a Japanese volcano than the man who built her? Ken Wallace himself was the pilot, a real-life Hugh Branch genius performing for the cameras, making cinema history with every dip and soar. Stephen Lane was visibly moved. Well, I think it's a beautiful vehicle, it's a wonderful thing, he said, his admiration clear. He acknowledged that Little Nellie herself was beyond valuation on the day, being part of a charitable collection destined for public display. I think it's an amazing thing that should be treasured, he insisted. It should remain on display as much as possible, for the general public to see. But the story didn't end there. Bond, after all, is all about presentation. Together with Little Nellie today, you've brought in some cases, haven't you? Stephen noted, gesturing to 4 unassuming containers dotted around the set. And this is where a brilliant piece of movie history truly came to life. For anyone who remembers the film, The scene is unforgettable. Bond, in need of air support, calls for little Nellie. Q arrives, not with a fully assembled gyrocopter, but with 4 of his technicians, each carrying a large case. In a masterclass of spy-fi,